So let's move on to the next thing, which is about creating your buyer persona. Now that you have your target audience, you know the person you want to sell to, you know what they do, where they live, their demography, all those things. So your buyer persona is just a semi-fictional representation of that your ideal customer based on their real data, their demographics, their behavioral patterns, their motivations, and their goals. So all these things are very important. Please take note of it. Your ideal customer based on real data, not just a data you think from your head, a real data. If I'm building software for football clubs, let's say I pick Chelsea now, I must be able to say, okay, Chelsea has this number of fan base. Chelsea is located where? In London. Chelsea is located, is it in North London or Southern London or anywhere? You must have real data. These people, what is their goal? What is their motivations? What is their behavioral patterns? Where do they try to market to? What do they do for finances? And what entices them? What makes them to feel fulfilled? So all these things are very important, and those are the things you see in your buyer persona. It's all about creating a semi-fictional personality about your buyer. And when you have this, it makes it easy for you in your process of marketing your business. In fact, you can't start marketing without having a buyer persona. Some people call it your buyer avatar. So it helps you understand your customers. You know their skin color, you know their that's just on the lighter mood. You know the kind of hairdo they will like, the kind of makeup they will like to wear, that kind of dress they like to put on. I'm trying to give you that detail so that you can know how detailed you must be when writing your buyer persona. Although all those things I've mentioned, their skin color, their hairdo, those ones are not important in building your buyer persona. But I'm just trying to show you the way you should think. Try to know them very well, very well. So it will help you also in creating content for that customers, and you will know the kind of products you want to build for them that will meet their specific needs, behaviors, and concerns. All right, so some questions that you can ask. What's their demographic information? Where do they live? And that place where they live, what is the living condition? What is the life expectancy? What is the average income? So you don't want to build an application as a software developer for people who lives in a rural area and their average income is maybe 1,000 naira in a month, and you want them to pay you for your service charge 10,000 naira. How sensible is that? So you try to know their demographic information. What is their job and level of sin? Please mind you, 10,000 naira is not even very close to what a software developer will get. I'm just giving an instance. Any software developer gets their fees starting from 300, 400, all those things. So I'm just giving you an instance. All right, what's their job and level of seniority? That's also very important. It will help you to know how you can price, how you can reach out to them also. What does a day in their lives look like? So when you are creating your content, you'll be able to create a common ground. When you are reaching out to people through code messaging, you'll be able to create a common ground. You know what they do, what they engage in, where they live. So what are their pain points? What are their pain points? What is it that they always think about and what they expect to find solutions to? So what are their pain points? What do you help them to solve? So how can I solve this problem for them since it is a pain point for them? People, don't forget we studied about painkillers and vitamins while we are learning about idea generations. So those things are very important. What do they value most? So these guys now, they were given a Nikon camera. They have never been able to see a camera before. It's a pain point, and it was solved for the guys. Even in rural area, they can now snap good images. All right, so what are their goals? You can write down their goals. This is what my ideal customer want to achieve, and so that you'll be able to know how to help them in achieving these things. Where do they go to for information? What are their most common objections to your product and service? So you see, when you sell to people, they always have objections. There will be this little element of doubt. So you want to clear their doubt, you want to clear their objections with your offers. So you want to know what are their most common objections, and you try to list all these things in your buyer persona. Where do they go to for information? You try to know all these things. So I'm going to give you a buyer persona template that you will use to set up your own personal business customer persona, and it will help you. So I'm going to send that at the end of this lesson, so watch out for that.